I want to make clear that I'm accusing my listeners of being liars. Okay? So if you're going to take offense at being called a liar, start now. I want to discuss the difference between toxic irrationality and non-toxic irrationality. Now, when I was going to the peace marches in October of 2023, I guess, after it became perfectly obvious what Israel had done in organizing the rave massacre so they could start this epic wank, which is now their legacy. I came across a very frustrated man who was bemusedly disentangling the ideas that Israel puts forward. And it was painful because he knew he wasn't going to save anybody's life by showing their irrationality, their unfairness, the processes of non-thought that went to prop them up. Well, it was a bit like Howard Roark's encounter with Steve Mallory in The Fountainhead. Mallory says being locked in a room with a mad beast of prey, and you talk reason to it, say the most profound things you've ever thought, and it just drools and comes forward to poach. It's a nightmare. And I think that that was the message of Seattle, too. You can't reason with Seattle. There's no point. It's part of their epic wank to try to get you to reason with them. They're evil, sadistic poachers. And they have this idea that they can say that they can find forms of consciousness that were part of growing up under the onus of the 60s generation. It wasn't just Ozzy Osbourne who went to his demise supporting Israel's insanity. Ringo is out there supporting Nosferatu by his troops, the fascist roadies of the rock industry. Come up with this idea that if you're not willing to take the licks of the pot smoke, you're not one of us. Seattle lie in order to get that union consciousness put together, cobbled together, so that their people support those behind the AIDS attack. Like Gail Burson, whose effigy they put at Seattle Center playing the mazurka violin. It's absurd. And they say, they bring in, get this, they ghost me with Putin. Don't you want Camille Valieva to be your advocate, Jimmy? I have gone through the chronology files of wanting to throw out my mother's liquor and not being brave enough to face her anger. But dreaming all day, if only I could throw out my mother's liquor, maybe she would come to her senses and be able to help me. And if I can't bring myself to pour out her liquor, which would obviously be an act of love, sure, I'm going to flush Paul Runko's dope stash down his toilet. Sure, I'm going to go after Larry Gellamini's cocaine. Sure, at the age of 9 years old, where all the pigs are on the take and lying through the teeth, I'm going to stand alone against Ronald Reagan's car thief gang. That's Seattle's hogswash. And they put me through 12 years of absolute misery by claiming, get this, to this day I can't believe my eyes when I look at it. And so they threatened to take away my eyes. Gail Burson said it in print, their ally. Take away my eyes. These people made me deaf. If you think they're joking, if you think they're liberal, if you think they're peachy keen people, they gave me glaucoma. I still can't believe my eyes. It's the most scurrilous thing I've ever seen. It was from Navos after they murdered somebody. They locked me up for losing my temper. They murdered somebody. And they locked me up for losing my temper. Because I asked for anger management, they said that I was dangerous. And they didn't even try to make it make sense. They didn't even try. That was besides the point. They were looking for a loophole to sell the fraud that they had been selling, going out and ripper murdering somebody to act out their aggressions, man, as professionals in the mental health system. And the administration of Seattle did this. And they're all hook and switch signal with the activism scene. I still can't believe my eyes when I see it. I unloaded the truth to a professional psychiatrist in Navas. And she wrote, he believes he was kidnapped and tortured as a child. And so from thin air, I just made it up. As though this terrible seizures and screaming in Iowa that led to my being locked up for 3 weeks for public screaming could have been fabricated or would have been necessary for something other than reliving a trauma. These people are criminally insane. They think they don't even know that what they're saying is hogswash. Or else they're so evil they don't care. They're on a binge for Mark Nuremberg's proving the joke of American ethical society. The joke, the absolute. And now, go back to the line of scrimmage, right? I finally found it. I found the letter from Mayor Peduto. And he says, what you went through was horrible, and I regret. It's an apology. The mayor of Pittsburgh admitted that what I went through was absolutely horrible. That was his choice of words. So these spinster psychiatrists come whizzing on their bicycles with Rachel McCloskey and saying, no, Mayor Peduto believes that Queerbait went through something that was absolutely horrible. No. What? So that Robert Fripp can hold his nose and drop his pick and say the extra special line in the sand of the cherry blossoms requires bunker busting bombs dropped on tents. Yeah.